Hi everyone! Today I'll be sharing a delicious Vietnamese pork recipe that's a favorite here in Vietnam, braised pork with quail eggs. The pork becomes beautifully caramelized, tender on the inside, and packed with flavor. The quail eggs are creamy and pair perfectly with the rich, savory sauce. Let's get started. To make this dish, I recommend using pork belly or shoulder. These cuts stay juicy and tender during cooking. Look for a piece with well-connected layers of fat and meat. It helps the final dish look and taste better. First, rub the pork with coarse salt, rinse it well, and pat it dry. Then, slice the pork into bite-sized pieces. I usually go with thick strips about 2.5 centimeters across, so they hold up well while braising. Next, we'll make a marinade. Start by grinding together shallots and chili, if you like it spicy, in a mortar and pestle. Add in 2 tablespoons of coarse salt and 2 tablespoons of sugar, then grind it all to a paste. Now add this mixture to the pork along with 1/3 teaspoon MSG, 1/3 teaspoon ground black pepper, 3 tablespoons fish sauce, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 3 tablespoons caramel sauce. I have a link to a homemade version in the video description if you're interested. 3 tablespoons fresh lime juice. This adds flavor and helps the pork stay tender. Mix everything well and let the pork marinate for about 30 minutes. While the pork marinates, we can cook the quail eggs. If you don't have quail eggs, you could use chicken or duck eggs instead. Place the eggs in a pot, cover them with water, and bring it to a gentle boil. Lower the heat and let them simmer for about 5 minutes. Once the eggs are done, let them cool, then peel them. To make peeling easier, gently tap the shell all around before peeling. After peeling, give them a quick rinse and set them aside. Add 2 tablespoons of oil to a pot. I'm using a tablespoon of pork fat for extra flavor. Heat the oil, then add the marinated pork, without any of the leftover marinade for now. Stir fry the pork over high heat until the edges are browned. This step adds extra flavor and keeps the pork firm during braising. When the pork is nicely seared, pour in the remaining marinade along with 500 milliliters of fresh coconut water. You want enough liquid to cover the meat. Coconut water adds a subtle sweetness and a lovely color, but plain water will work if you don't have any. Bring everything to a boil, skim off any foam on top, then reduce the heat and let it simmer. Braise the pork for about 30 minutes until it's tender and flavorful. After 30 minutes, add the quail eggs to the pot. Let them cook for another 6 to 8 minutes so they absorb some of the sauce but don't overcook or turn too dark. At this point, you can also taste the sauce and adjust the seasonings if needed. Once the eggs are done, your dish is ready to serve. If you want the pork to be darker and more caramelized, you can remove most of the sauce, turn up the heat, and stir the pork for a few more minutes until it browns nicely. And there you have it. The pork is glistening, a beautiful reddish brown and incredibly tender. The quail eggs are creamy with a slightly sweet flavor from the coconut water, balanced by the saltiness of fish sauce and a hint of spice from the chili. This dish goes so well with pickled mustard greens and rice. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and hit subscribe if you love Vietnamese food. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.